So welcome, proactive homeowners, to Breaking the Paralysis of Analysis webinar. And I like to call it Get Off the Fence and Into Your New Life. So my name is Brian Schwatka. I'm a Realtor and Transition Specialist with Keller Williams Bay Area Estates in Los Gatos. And I'm here today with Judy Jackson, who you all know is the Director of Sales and Marketing at Sunnyview Retirement Community.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today.
All right. So let's get started. Who is this Brian guy with the blue shirt and the crazy hair? And you can look me up on Google. I've got a pretty strange last name, Schwatka. There's only one of me, I think, but you can feel free to do a little checking up on me. I've been a realtor since 2004. I'm located in Los Gatos, and I work with homeowners of all ages, but I really do love working with my retirees, my seniors. I've been doing it for about 17 years now. Specifically, I'd say 95% of my business is with homeowners over 65. I'm a self-proclaimed transition specialist, which is helping homeowners decide if they should go, where they should go, and then helping them make a smooth transition to the retirement community or to a different home. So there's me in a nutshell. I've created this system that it's called the Stay or Go Homeowner System. You can go there to Stay or Go Homeowner. I don't care if you stay, I don't care if you go. I just want to make sure you're making these good decisions. So go to the website. There's lots of free information there. It's not trying to sell you anything or get any information from you. Just a bunch of free videos and helpful things that will help you make those good decisions. In 2022, we're actually adding some webinars, so we'll take you from the very beginning, should you stay or should you go, all the way to the end where we're putting together a flight plan for you to make your move successful and less stressful. Our agenda for today is I'm going to give you my top 10 reasons why I think a homeowner might want to make a transition. And Judy's going to give her top 10 reasons why she thinks a homeowner might make a transition. We're going to go a little bit fast. We're not going to go too deep. And we're going to spend about 2 minutes per reason. And that'll be 40 minutes right there. And then we'll take some Q&A. So my number 10 thing is home maintenance issues. And I know you're with me on this. It gets expensive replacing water heaters and roofs and furnaces every 10 years or 15 years. There's plumbing issues under your house you don't even know about. I would say 90% of the time when we do a home inspection, there are plumbing leaks and the homeowner said, I had no idea. Electrical issues, there's rodents and termites and gophers and fences, and your neighbor doesn't want to spend half the money on the fence, and you do, and you got to keep your lawns up and swimming pools. There's the hassle of the surprises, of emergencies, finding just those right people to come into your home, and the security of these strangers coming in your home. It's not a, maintenance crew that you're familiar with where you know that guy and he comes to your house every single time, like at a retirement community. And also we have some availability issues right now going on. There's a lot of unemployed people who maybe don't want to work. There's fewer workers. And when there's fewer workers, that means it takes longer to get those workers and they're starting to charge more. So these are the home maintenance issues that happen. So I want to give you a gift. The gift is at my website, stayorgohomeowner.com. There's a tab in there called Contacts. And in there, you will see all of my business contacts that I've been working with for years and years. These are tried and true. They're vetted. They're all licensed and insured. You can find them on the website, stayorgohomeowner.com. You click on any one of those and all the contact information will come to you. So that's my free gift to you. These are beautiful people that I trust and I work with and I've been working with for at least 10 years, each of them. So that's my number 10. Let's see, what's Judy's number 10? Judy's number 10 is the new lifestyle that you're going to enjoy by going to a retirement community. So I'll hand it over to Jude.
Well, many of the folks here think that have been on a cruise think that being here is similar to being on a cruise with the food, which is a very important aspect of their decision because they A lot of the folks here do not want to cook anymore. They don't want to go to the grocery store. And unfortunately, with this pandemic, they were in fear of driving to a grocery store. They didn't want to have prepared meals, and a lot of them were just so isolated, and they just stayed in their home. But now with a new lifestyle at Sunnyview, they've got trips, they've got events, they form clubs. There are different groups that they form, different activities, 7 days a week. They have happy hour. We do have music entertainment. They've established new friendships. And their friendships we even have relationships that started before them coming to Sunnyview. We've had a lot of folks here that know each other because they either worked at different schools and they decided to move into Sunnyview a month after another person moved in as a school teacher. So we do have about 3 different school teachers that know each other from their relationship at school. They're in a new neighborhood. Sunnyview's in a beautiful neighborhood. It's not on a busy street. And I don't know if you've been to Sunnyview, but many of our residents have commented that it's very peaceful here because we're not a high rise. We do have lots of property, 12 acres, whereas many other places have a busy street. And they're experiencing new, not only the new relationships, but new events and activities that they never had before. A lot of them never really joined a book club, and now they're realizing that they missed out on having these book clubs. A lot of them never really had the spiritual connection. We do have a pastor on staff, and there's an elder care program with many of the residents that are involved in spiritual activity. There's also a lunch bunch, and also there's also a afternoon lunch talk with the chef as to what to introduce with some of the foods that they may want as a new experience. And we do have a lot of different teachers coming from the different colleges and teaching the different social and the communities that we have from Foothill as well as San Jose State. And we have a couple of teachers from history that are teaching Civil War as well as World War II, which is very interesting.
I'd say that's a new lifestyle.
Yes.
All right. My number 9. I hear it a lot. We have to make our home safe for aging in place, even if you're planning on moving. And you shouldn't worry about what it's going to make your home look like, or is it sellable, or is it going to reduce the value of my home because I have made these changes. No, they won't. I think it's very important for peace of mind and quality of life to have your home safe. So feel free to make these changes, but keep in mind that some of these changes can be costly. And so I asked my contact, how much does it cost to upgrade a home to age in place? He said, oh, it's everybody's different, and it depends on the house and the size and the number of stories of the home. But just, typically ballpark figures to make a bathroom safer, about $1,000. If you need a ramp to eliminate the stairs in the front of your home, anywhere from $250 to $400. Ramps can get very expensive as the more stairs you're covering and the more places you need that. So it could get up into the several thousands of dollars. And if you have a 2-story home, you may need a chairlift that's going to go up the stairs. So that could be anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. So, if you want to make your home safe, keep in mind it's going to be a little expensive to do that, but I applaud you and suggest that you do make your home safe between now and the time you move. What you can do now is you can call Home Safety Services. They can be found at homesafety.net. And you can give them a call, or you can go on their website and you can have them come out and do an assessment of your home and to tell you where you could be safer. How to make the stairs safer, how to make your bedroom safer, how to make your bathroom safer. So please be proactive, make a quick phone call to these people, have them come in. It's a complimentary assessment, and they'll tell you a little bit about how you can make your home a little bit safer. Judy's number 9. We're counting on down the list. Judy says you'll feel younger, healthier, and more social being around like-minded adults. Judy, you want to elaborate on that?
Certainly. Because we've had this sequestered in place and the isolation, many of our residents who are coming, and we did have about 25 new residents coming from last year into Sunnyview, and they feel more free. They feel unburdened because they don't have the home that they had stayed in for the last 4 months that they were isolated in. They really didn't realize that with this COVID situation that they were declining in health because they couldn't get out. And the fact that now that they're able to see their other residents, they have a spring in their step, and they're smiling more because they're no longer isolated, and they feel that they can continue living a purposeful life and being more social. And they're really grateful now that family and friends have not been burdened by them staying at home either, because of course with the COVID, the families were not able to see their parents because they were in fear that their children would be exposed, or if they went to see their parents, that they would give their parents, if they were asymptomatic, the COVID, unfortunately. So now that they're unburdened themselves and they're here, they're forming new relationships that they never had before. They're learning and they're educating. As I explained before, we do have teachers and professors coming from the different universities to talk about current events, politics. They talk about history. They're also having TED Talks, which is the technological educational programs that are always on the iPad or the iPhone. And they're also getting a nutritious dining experience. We do have a nutritionist on staff. And if a person has a particular diet, our dietitian will recommend certain things for them that they can enjoy without having any reaction to their eating habits.
Okay, that's Judy's number 9. My number 8 is in-home care issues. And I know a few of you have said at the beginning during the poll that you may be inclined to stay at home rather than making a transition, because we love our homes and we're comfortable in our homes. And wouldn't it be great to have in-home care? It would be more comfortable and easier, and you won't have to downsize and you won't have to move and all of that stuff. But there are some issues in the in-home care industry, because the in-home care industry has been burdened. It's the number 1 industry right now. It's the fastest growing industry in the United States right now, and that industry is completely overwhelmed. Due to the baby boomers of 10,000 people every day turning 65, because of COVID fears, where people are wanting more services to come into their home so that they don't have to leave their home. We have a shortage of qualified workers, and all of those workers, to keep up with all of that demand, they're being trained very quickly. I'm talking like a couple of hours on each topic. So that industry is doing overtime. There's not enough people. We're getting caregiver burnout in that industry, in the in-home care industry. There's a lot of lack of supervision and regulation because the managers at these companies can't keep up with how many caregivers they're hiring to try and keep up with that demand. So there's no real consistency there. You might get a different caregiver every day or every week, and everyone's looking for consistency. And when you don't have consistency, you're having someone come in your home, who's this? And now it's another person. It's a different person each time. You don't get that at a retirement community. You get consistency. You don't get caregiver burnout. You don't get a shortage of workers. These people would love to have a full-time job at a retirement community rather than being paid minimum wage at an in-home care company. Also, these people are not obligated contractually to work every day or always be available to you like they are at a retirement community. One more slide on this. They're having big turnover problems in the in-home care industry. In 2020 to 2021, the turnover rate is 65%. 50% of the people that call to get in-home care are turned away because the in-home care industry can't keep up with the demand. The caregivers aren't making enough money making minimum wage. They're commuting in from out of the area, cheaper areas to live, Hollister, Gilroy, Los Gatos, and the caregivers are actually shifting away from in-home care because they can get paid just as much if they go to, Burger King or working for Amazon or something out of their home. And so if there are less people, then the prices for those people are going to go up. It's a supply and demand thing. Judy's number 8 is unburden your friends and family. What do you mean by that, Judy?
Well, remember I was mentioning about the COVID situation and being sequestered in your home and quarantined and being alone. Well, anytime somebody that's a family member or a neighbor would try to come over during the COVID, of course, they felt obligated to maybe fix something in your home rather than visiting you at Sunnyview where they don't have to fix something at your home because you're saying, oh, by the way, my plumbing's leaking and I've got a little drip in my faucet. Do you mind helping me fix it? Or let's say the dishwasher doesn't work. They're going to ask you to help out because they don't want to have an electrician or a plumber come over. So a lot of these friends and family members may not want to come over more often, but now because you're in Sunnyview, you're not going to be having to ask them to help you fix a leak because the leak or the plumbing issue is going to be resolved with our maintenance. And also the time and availability of your family member. They won't be thinking that, oh, you're supposed to come on Sunday afternoon or you're supposed to come twice a week to bring the groceries. Well, now they're going to be unburdened because they can come anytime they want because your mom or your dad will be here and they'll be in a social activity. They'll maybe be dining. And then if you just decide to drop by, you don't have to be bringing over the groceries. You don't have to worry about fixing a light bulb because all that will be done here. And the COVID issues will be taken care of because we screen you when you come in. We take your temperature. Now that it's a requirement to either get your COVID test and proof of that or proof of a COVID vaccination card. And then you're free to come and visit your family members. So you're not going to be burdened as if you were at the house. And our staff is here 365 days a week. Many of our staff members have been here for a very long time. I've been here for 21 years. My assistant's been here for 6 years. We have our nurses that have been here anywhere between 10 years, and the nurse in residential area has been here for 32 years. So we have a very strong staff. Our dining staff, we have a dishwasher that's been here for 32 years. And he also has a sister here. So there's a lot of family members here and they're not going anywhere because of the benefits. And also they feel that the residents are part of their extended family and they want to help you.
All right, that's Judy's number 8. What's Brian's number 7? The economic uncertainties. I know they're out there. I know you're feeling this. The whole world is really feeling a lot of what's going on. The consumer confidence issues that are out there, we're starting to see some declines since the beginning of the year. Inflation is going up. Stock market finally had its worst performance of the year. We're hearing about a correction. Gas prices are going up. Supply chain issues. I'm not trying to be all gloom and doom and tell you you need to do something now before something blows up. I'm just saying I'm feeling this uncertainty of what's going on in the market. So that's my number 7. Judy's number 7 is you'll get to downsize your belongings. So Judy, tell us how exciting downsizing is.
And that'll be fun because you're going to have to go into a treasure trove of all your belongings, and you're going to have to put them in 3 different categories: some to keep, some to give away, and some to throw away. When you do that, we do have a lot of good referral sources that will give you a floor plan of all your furniture that would fit in the apartment that you select. And a lot of them are called move managers, and they will come out, they'll look at your home, and they will also help you decide what to give away, what to keep, and what to donate. So that, or things that would be something that would be thrown away. But they also have a specialty where they would come in your home, they would pack for you, and then they would unpack, so that during the day, you don't even have to be in your home, the new apartment, because they will place and mirror the room so that it looks just like your home. And then when you're ready to come in the afternoon, when they're finished with taking care of the apartment, you will be ready to sit down and maybe even watch a little TV before you go to lunch or dinner. So they'll take care of everything, and they'll pack up the boxes, and they'll remove it, and they'll put the pictures on the walls for you, and they'll help you make your bed so that you don't even have to do it, and everything is clean, and they'll orchestrate the entire move for you.
All right, Brian's number 6. Well, I don't know if you've heard of this, but California is removing the Sfr designation. That's the single family residence designation, which we've held tried and true for years and years, that I have one home on one lot. And what they've done now is they've changed that rule with a thing called SB 9, Senate Bill 9, that allows property owners to split their lot into 2 lots. Now they can add a second home on that second lot, or they can tear them all down and put a duplex on one side and a duplex on the other side. And now you've got 4 families living on one lot. So just think about that a little bit, how difficult that would be, how it would affect your neighborhood, how it would affect your property, and how it would affect the home value, your home value, with 2 duplexes sitting on a lot right next door to you. SB 10 allows the builders and the homeowners to bypass all of the lengthy review requirements that were normally in place when someone wanted to make a change like this. Well, now it's just going to keep going. It's going to go right through. So again, not to be gloom and doom, but you could have 2 duplexes right next door to your home as soon as, within the months from now. So this is another reason I'm thinking, and remember, these are all reasons that Judy and I think that you might want to contemplate a transition to a retirement community sooner than later. That's what we're talking about here, is the paralysis of analysis. And we're trying to get you off the fence and show you, here's another reason why we think you might want to go. Here's another reason why. And then we're building on and using all of our experience of being in this industry for years and years of what people have told us. And that's where we've come up with our top 10. But this is a new one. This is really going to change your neighborhood. So anyway, just wanted to run that one by you. Judy's number 6 reason why she thinks you might want to make a move to a retirement community sooner than later is that Sunnyview has incentives and availability. So Judy, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have availability in our large semi-suites, which we call alcoves, which are about 500 square feet, and studio apartments. And just call me for the details, and I'd be happy to let you know what's available for you and if you're interested. The prices increase every year, and that depends upon the taxes that we have to pay, as well as our staffing that we have to pay, and insurance and upgrades as far as the handicapped and the improvements that we have to put in. And that's by OSHA, of course, because we do have a skilled nursing on site. And also we will give you a $2,000 discount for your application being on the wait list. And unfortunately, a lot of the folks that are waiting too long are waiting for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, and also in our memory care. So we do have a long waiting list for that. But if you're interested in coming in sooner, then we can even put you on the wait list for the 2-bedroom or the 1-bedroom, and you can move in now and then move to a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom later when it's available. And you get priority too.
So that's kind of a move in to move up plan?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That was Judy's number 6. Brian's number 5 is the real estate market fluctuations. And we know they are here. Not now. We're doing real well right now. But you know, we've gone through our ups and downs. I've been through 2 ups and downs in the last 17 years. But real estate markets I've found historically correct about every 10 years. So we had one 89-91. We also had another one in 2008 to 2009, where a lot of us lost about 20% of our home values in that one period of time. So some people lost even more than that. But if you think about 20% of $1 million is $200,000. That's your buy-in for a continuing, well, at least Sunnyview's continuing care retirement community buy-in. That's just if you didn't wait too long and you took advantage of a good real estate market, you'd have $200,000 extra. If you're in a $2 million home and your price went down by 20%, you're talking $400,000 loss, which takes about 5 to 6, maybe 7 years to come back. And no one thinks that it's going to happen. And they just say, let it ride. I think the real estate market's just going to keep going. But when it does hit, it hits hard and it hits fast. Here is the sales prices. You'll see the red arrow was back in 2007, 2008, 2009, and then bam, it went down. Here we are in 2021. We've had an amazing year. We've gone up 15% in 1 year. The average appreciation rate for properties is like 4%. So we're all excited, right? This real estate market's going like crazy. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know how hard it's going to hit, and I don't know how far down it's going to drop when it does go down. But as far as every 10 years goes, we're overdue. We're up for a correction. We just don't know when. Not trying the gloom and doom thing or the sky is falling, but just be careful and be cognizant and keep in touch, and I'll keep letting you know how we're doing and what's going on. Of course, the best time to sell an investment is when it's at its high water mark, right? And that's where we are right now. So should we stay? Should we go? You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them, when to walk away and when to run. So that is my tip for you. Don't wait too long. All right, Judy's number 5. Sunnyview has 2 options. This is the most exciting thing for me when I'm talking to people about retirement communities. There is no other community like Sunnyview that has 2 options for you, a month-to-month option and a life care program. So Judy, tell us how special that is and why.
Well, it's really special because even when I started here 21 years ago, we always had the continuum care where there's an entrance fee model for the life care program. And I implemented the month-to-month so that folks can try Sunnyview out for up to a year, and then they can convert to the from the month-to-month to the continuing care life care program. So for folks that don't know what a continuum care is, we have all levels of care, and with that you pay an entrance fee. You come in and you start out independently, you pay an entrance fee, and then you pay the monthly fee. But with our month-to-month program that you will find with other continuum cares like Saratoga or the Terraces, you have to come in and pay the entrance fee if you're going to go to the life care program. And there's no need right now to come in with the large upfront fee or to take a bridge loan or to sell your home. You can come in month to month, just like a lease, and pay the first and last month's rent, and then try us out, and then convert to the long-term life care plan. And then we also have a deferment program for those that want to come in and they haven't sold their home, but we can give you a deferment program plan and a payment program for you to come in. And other communities don't do that. They want the money up front, and it's a pretty large sum.
I've been in this industry doing this for, like I said, 17 years. I've never, ever run across a community quite like this that has this available to you, that completely reduces the stress of selling your home. Oh my gosh, they called me, my unit's ready. Let's get the house on the market. Oh, rush, rush, rush. We got to get the money. We have to send it over to the retirement community. Then we move to the retirement community and we have to do all of that in 60 days or the deal's off. That's totally wiped off the table with this plan. This is super valuable and super convenient for people to make that smooth transition. Okay, my number 4 is capital gains taxes are going to be going up soon. So our current administration is trying to take capital gains tax rates up by 5 to 10%. So that amount that we're all probably going to have to pay when we sell our homes, because we made a lot of money, we have to pay those capital gains. That rate used to be about 30 to 35%, and that's going up to possibly 45%. I want to take just a moment to re-educate you on how capital gains works. It all starts with how much you paid for your home. That's what's called your basis. In this example, nice round numbers, let's say we bought the home for $100,000. I know some of you probably bought it for $15,000 50 years ago, but we'll say we bought it for $100,000. If we sell it for $1 million, what is our gain? $900,000, right? Well, we don't want to pay taxes on $900,000, so how do we increase our basis so that it looks like we made less? Well, we can increase our basis by how much money we've put into our homes, because that's how much you've spent on your home. So you bought it for 100 and you put another 100 into it, that's your basis is 200,000. Another thing that you can increase your basis with is the cost of selling your home. All of the things you're going to be doing to your home to get your home ready to go on the market, the costs of selling with real estate fees and closing costs. Other ways to increase our basis is each of our homeowners, each of us who is on title living in the property, gets $250,000 of gain that they don't have to pay that 35% taxes on. So if there's 2 of you, then you get $250,000 each, and look, our gain went from $900,000 down to $250,000. We're going to have to pay a little bit of taxes, about 35% on that gain, right? We have to pay off our mortgage or a reverse mortgage or a home equity line of credit, and we're left with some cash. What's the net? Now, if they do increase those capital gains taxes, that's going to eat into our net profit. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know how that works, that is coming, and it might be one reason why you might want to do something sooner than later. Those tax rates aren't here yet, but they're coming. Okay, number 4 for Judy, the continuity of the care compared to what you would get at an in-home care service coming into your home. This continuing care retirement community, this CCRC, that's what you're looking for. It's a luxury. It's a beautiful thing. And I wanted Judy to just tell you why it's so important to have a continuity of care as you transition from one part of your life to the next part?
Well, I had mentioned before that we have independent living here, we have assisted living, we have memory care, and we have skilled nursing, which a lot of the places that you may have visited, Belmont Village, as well as Sunrise, they do not have the continuum of care. They only have the independent and assisted living and the skill. Now, when you're in home, you're not going to get all these levels of care. You might get assistance from maybe medication management, you might get showers, but then if you need a higher level of care, the caregiver cannot do that. They may have to bring in another caregiver, which would duplicate and add more costs to your care in home. At Sunnyview, we age in place. So if you're in the main building and you are independent and you do have the need for medication management and maybe showers and dressing, we can have assisted living services be in the same apartment without having you move. Now, at the terraces and at the Saratoga retirement, you do have to move out when you do have assisted living services, because they have a specific building where you have to move. We do not. You can stay in your apartment and receive the same care that you need for showers and for escorts. However, with memory care, you do have to move. And in skilled nursing, if there's a rehab or if you have life plan program, then you can move temporarily, or you can move into the rehab for maybe a knee replacement. Whereas in your home, you would still have to go to the hospital. You'd have to go into a skilled nursing. Then you would come home, and your home may not have the handicap features that Brian talked to you about earlier, because you haven't been proactive about having that in your home. So then you'd have to get a contractor to be in your home, and you'd have to have someone fix it up while you're in the skilled nursing being rehab. So you've got all these balls in the air that you have to decide, and you may not even have family close by to help you with that.
Okay, so my number 3 is inventory. Okay, how does inventory, the number of homes on the market, increase or decrease the value of your home? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just supply and demand. As inventory, or the number of homes, come on the market, your competition, buyers have more choices, and prices will start to drop. It's simple, just in supply and demand every day. So what increases inventory? Well, I'm going to fly through this, and since we're recording it, when you get the recording, you can always pause, stop, or give us a call. But I think the number one thing, inventory increases, my consumer confidence is low, unemployment is happening, taxes are increasing, there's political issues, there's plans to raise capital gains tax rates, the cost of living is very expensive in California. California flat appreciation rates are coming when inventory rises. Okay, mortgage rates affect inventory. Proposition 19 is retaining your property taxes, and you can move anywhere in California and keep your property taxes the same no matter where you go. People are going to start taking advantage of that, and they're going to start leaving. Rental prices are going down, and these landlords who own rental properties, the tenants, because of all the COVID regulations and things that are going on, the tenants aren't paying their rent, and the landlords want them out, and then the landlords don't want to be landlords anymore in California, so they're selling their rental properties. Again, more inventory. Sellers are taking advantage of the hottest market ever. People are telecommuting now. They don't actually have to live in Cupertino to work at Apple. So they may be selling their homes because of the hot real estate market. Selling homes means more inventory. More inventory means lower prices. People are wanting larger homes because they're not having to go into the office. So they want home offices and things. They just want a different way of life. There's a lot of reasons why inventory increases. And I think if you look at this list, you'll see a lot of these things are starting to happen. And I could imagine inventory is going to be increasing here pretty soon. People are also leaving California. 53% of the people are considering leaving the Bay Area. So I won't get into too much details, but when people leave, inventory comes onto the market, prices start to reduce. All right, number 3 for Judy. It's not going to get any easier as we age. In fact, if we were going to make a transition, today would be easier to do than tomorrow. So, Judy, can you discuss sooner than later?
Sure. So when I started in 21 years ago here, we had a lot of folks that thought that they should move when something happens to them in an emergency. Now we're seeing a lot of folks here that don't want to have a crisis, and they don't want to be left out because of the fact that if they don't apply now, they may have to wait 3 to 4 years when they really want to come now. So my suggestion is start getting that application in, start touring all these different facilities and communities, and be a little proactive. Don't be reactive, and don't make a crisis happen. And then all of a sudden you're in a skilled nursing, and then you have to find a place, because a lot of folks here were in that situation, and they had to wait a long time before they came to Sunnyview. And I'm sure the terraces are like that, as well as most of the continuing care. There is a long wait list. So I suggest that you plan ahead, visit the different communities that you think that you want, so that you're not stressed out and you're not waiting in a skilled nursing, having a crisis happen, and then you don't know where to go. And then your children or your friends or your neighbors who you have given durable power of attorney to make a decision, put you in the wrong place because they don't have room at the place that you already decided that you want to go. So others, you don't want them to make the decision for you, because you're sitting waiting in a skilled nursing and they're asking you to leave because you'll have to pay out of pocket. Did you know that skilled nursing out-of-pocket pay for a private pay is costing $18,000 a month? That's what our skilled nursing is. So we don't want you to wait in the skilled nursing before you decide where to go. And you may not be eligible in some of the other places either. So don't wait too long.
Yeah. Another big thing is a continuing care retirement community that has all levels of care. They're going to want you to come in the front door, and then you're going to move through the system because you came in independent living. So that's where they want you to come in. Now, when you try and get in the side door, let's say you waited too long and try and get in the assisted living side door or the memory care side door or the skilled nursing side door, you may be turned away, because first right of refusal and the continuum of care goes to the people that already live there. So this is the number one thing I tell people is please don't wait too long, because you might not be able to get in. So, all right. Number 2 for me is the white hot real estate market of what is happening right now out here in this crazy world we're living in. We have low inventory right now, so there's fewer choices for these buyers to pick from. These buyers are not as picky. So if you have a home that's not upgraded, that has problems, maybe on a busier street where it might have been more difficult to sell in the past, it's not difficult to sell right now. They're selling very quickly. We're getting multiple offers, like 6 or 7 offers, but that's starting to slow down a bit. I just sold a home in Saratoga, $500,000 over asking price, and we put it on the market at a very fair price. So things are going nuts. These sellers are actually being able to stay in their homes for 1 month to 2 months just because the buyers can't say anything. They're like, yeah, please take my offer, anything you need. So sales are up, price per square foot's up, the median sale price is up. The luxury homes are still selling. Those are even up, the higher priced ones, because all these Google, Facebook, and Tesla employees have all this money they're throwing around. It's like monopoly out here. So anyway, that's my number 2 reason. Judy's number 2 reason is that Sunnyview is actually less expensive than in-home care, and actually less expensive on the buy-in than these other communities. So This is the cost of one caregiver for only 6 hours a day at a very low rate, $35 an hour. That rate really should be about 40, and it's going up from here. But even at their lowest is $6,300 a month, where Judy's high-end personal care costs at the most is $6,500. And these are based on these different plans, right, Judy?
Right. So the plans are customized plans, and it depends upon what your needs are when you're in assisted living. So each plan is based on your need, maybe medication management, maybe showers are needed, maybe you need your personal laundry taken care of. And then our nurse does an evaluation for you. And she has a 10-page standard form that she'll go over in the evaluation. And then you will tell her, along with your doctor's report, as to what your specific needs are. So each plan is customized, and it's determined at the end of that evaluation with our nurse exactly what your monthly assisted living personal cost care will be. And then that's added to your monthly rate, so that your in-home care plan could be a lot more at your home than it is at Sunnyview. There's an entrance fee program.
Entrance fee, right?
And that guarantees care for life, and that is supported by our foundation. So I encourage you to come over and talk to me about what that buy-in is, and you'll see that even in this plan, that slide that Brian has given you, the other continuing care costs are quite extravagant compared to Sunnyview's entrance fee. And I'd be happy to explain the entrance fee program and the life care program so you understand how the foundation works.
So my number one thing is, if you're house rich and cash poor, you have a lot of equity in your home, $1 million, $2 million, but you can't access those funds. Maybe you could get a hold of some of the funds with a home equity line of credit or a reverse mortgage. And I want you to know that with all of the equity in your home, some people I've found aren't able to maintain the home and do upgrades to the home and pay for home safety. They're not taking vacations anymore. They're not able to help family members. They're not able to take care of emergencies when things happen. And the cost of in-home care, yes, I want to stay in my home and age in place, but I don't have that positive cash flow every month, from my Social Security and from my investments and my required minimum distributions to pay for that in-home care. I have to sell my home to get access to those funds. And once we do sell our home and we do make a new transition to our next chapter of our lives, we've got $1 million or $2 million in our pocket. And now we're a little more liquid, and we're a little more able to have and enjoy the last chapters of our lives. So that's the number one thing. I just run across so many people who are actually rich and they're poor at the same time. So that's my number one thing. Judy's number one thing is the beautiful financial planning system that she has, that she can help you and give you peace of mind, and where you could tell her all of the information that you need to tell her, so she can then advise you on how far your funds will go. So Judy, can you tell us about the assessment and the acceptance for being a candidate at Sunnyview?
When you fill out an application, we have forms that ask for your doctor's report and a form that has a financial statement on it. And our accounting department will review your financial net worth, and our nurse with the doctor's report will review and evaluate your needs if you need some help, a little extra care help. And then when we put that all together, we will have a meeting and we will determine whether or not we can care for you, and if you can qualify to be a candidate at Sunnyview. And then you've got the peace of mind knowing that you've been accepted, and you'll receive a letter of acceptance. And then when you're ready to select the apartment, we will make sure that you come in for the final evaluation, and then you know exactly what your costs will be. And we also explain that we do increase our rates every year, and this is April 1st. And then you will know exactly what funds you're going to be bringing to Sunnyview, so that when you spend down your funds at Sunnyview, we have the Life Care program with the foundation to support should you ever run out of funds. So that really is a big peace of mind, and you know that you're going to be taken care of in all levels of care at Sunnyview.
All right, there's our top 10. Here they are right here. It really boils down to the fact that you have two options. You're either going to stay in your home and age in place, utilizing in-home care services, or you're going to move to a life plan community. So you're going to stay or you're going to go, and you just really need to decide and think about, can you afford to stay? Can you afford to go? Do you desire to stay? Do you desire to go? And these are all of the reasons, the top 20 reasons that we talked about today. Okay, so hopefully that kind of gave you a little nudge. If it didn't, here's what I want you to ask yourself. In the vision of my perfect future, okay, I have this vision of my perfect future. Is this the life I see for myself in this home, staying in this home, aging in place? Now, when you think about that, I want you to think of in your mind, not just, is this the vision? Yeah, I really want to stay. You got to think about your finances, think about your health, your safety, your personal relationships, your trust and estate, your real estate, functionally, physically, financially. All of those things you need to take into consideration when you're asking yourself, is this the vision of my perfect future? And here's some other questions to ask yourself. Now keep track of this as we go through. I'll just take a minute. On your hand, every time you say no, put a finger up. And if you put up more than, say, 3 fingers or 4 fingers, you might want to consider having a conversation with Judy or myself. The first question I would like you to ask yourself is, does my home suit my current lifestyle? Yes or no? If you say yes to all of these, then maybe you should stay. If you say no to, like I said, 3 or 4 of them, it's time to think. Has my home been upgraded to reduce the chance of falls? Yes or no? Does my home have a downstairs bedroom and full bathroom so that I can age in place? Very important question. Is my neighborhood the same as it was back in the day? Do you really enjoy your neighborhood like you used to? Do I have a support network of my friends, family, and neighbors who are willing to help me age in place? I know you think they are. You might want to ask, are they willing and able to help you age in place? Here's another one. Am I cash flow positive every month? If you're not, there's a little red flag for you. Am I physically and financially prepared for emergencies? Yes or no? Do I have long-term care insurance? Pretty important question to help you pay for the services you're going to need. Do I have a formal financial plan that ensures I won't outlive my funds, and Judy can help you with that? If you don't, you got to get one in place. Without selling my home, can I afford the cost of in-home care, skilled nursing, and memory care at a cost of about $10,000 to $20,000 per month? If you say yes to that, then you're independently wealthy and maybe you can stay. But there's still some things you want to think about. Do I enjoy cooking, cleaning, driving, and maintaining my property, even though I can afford it? Do I get enough social interaction and stimulating experiences? And am I just getting, just plain old fun? Am I enjoying my life here in my home? Can I count on my health staying relatively the same for the next 10 years? Yes or no? Am I sure that I want to remain isolated in my home? And I don't mean that as a bad word, it's just true. It's like solitary confinement in my home, aging in place, rather than living in a thriving community with like-minded people. So ask yourself those questions. Go back and look at the video. If you've said no to more than a few of those, let's take some next steps. Next steps would be to get in touch with Judy, get that financial plan in place, at least talk, have a conversation, ask questions. For me, if you want to do a homeowner analysis, we can talk about planning your perfect scenario. We can talk about different retirement living options, either a new home, relocating out of the area, retiring to a continuing care retirement community, capital gains, holding title, home preparation, how to get that home ready to go on the market, what you do need to do, what you don't need to do, vacating, occupying, should you sell the home or should you rent the home? All of that stuff can be done in a personal analysis that we can do one-on-one, whether it's a Zoom call, in person, or at some coffee shop. Here are the webinars again for 2022, February through October, from womb to tomb, from beginning, should I go, to I'm going and here's what I need to do. So stay tuned for those. And we did it with 8 minutes over. I don't see any questions, which means we either confused you or we were very thorough in our what we're saying. So in a nutshell, we're safe. We have no expectations. We just want to have conversations with you to help you make decisions. If you want to stay, great. If you want to go, great. But just get in touch with us. We have years and years of experience between Judy and I, both in the industry for almost 20 years now. So Judy, thanks so much for having me. Thanks so much for thinking about this presentation to try and get them off the fence, whether it's staying or whether it's going. We're fine with that, but thanks for having me, and thanks for putting these webinars on, and this is the last one of the year, so I'll see you soon. You want to say any parting words?
And thanks for coming, everybody, and participating, and Brian, and you certainly make it easy for people to make a decision and ponder being in their home, and you're just an easy person to talk to, and if they have questions, you're always there to lend them the information and the resources, and you're very caring.
Thank you. Right back at you. All right, well, Happy New Year, and we'll be sending that video out hopefully by the end of the week for you guys. So thanks so much for coming, and thanks so much for being proactive. Talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.